Do you know what to look for when you think a guy may be attracted to you? There are many tells, but you're probably not going to find much better evidence than that provided subconsciously by his body. These things happen automatically, and they're beyond his control, so they're the perfect way to get a read on him. These are body language signs he's attracted to you. 15. Big old pupils. If you gaze upon your crush and just so happen to see them looking at you too, take a look at his eyes to see what's going on there. Chances are, if he's into you, his pupils will be as big as dinner plates. This could either mean that you're in a really dark place, or he's into you, considering your eyes dilate as a brain response when you're attracted to or like something or someone. This could be one visual cue that your crush may just be crushing back. 14. Eyebrow giveaway. Much like the dilated pupils, this is a sign that tends to happen to, well, everyone. Yours or your crush's eyebrows may betray when it comes to showing off true feelings. If you see his eyebrows raise when you're talking to him, or even when he's just looking at you, he may be feeling more than he's letting on. Humans use this subconscious expression to open our eyes more when we like what we see. So, if he does this with you, it may be a sign that he's interested. 13. He can't take his eyes off your face. This one may seem obvious, but we feel like we need to clarify a little something here. A lot of people would say, or would have said in the past, that if a guy can't take his eyes off yours, he may be into you. Nowadays, people are consumed by their phones and other visual stimuli, and maintaining eye contact for long periods of time can be somewhat hard. So the rule these days is, if he continuously looks at your face, glances between your eyes, nose, mouth, and anything else on it, he's probably crushing. So don't be creeped out if he stares. He probably likes you more than you know. 12. His smile. It may seem pretty obvious that a smile can be a pretty good indicator of how someone feels about you, but people can fake smiles reasonably easily. The key is to look at how much of the face is affected by his smile. For example, if it's just his mouth that smiles, that may not be a true, genuine smile you're seeing. But if his cheeks, his eyes, and his forehead are affected too, you've probably got a real winner. If his smile impacts every area of his face, that means you're making a good positive impact on him, and it could mean that he's digging you too. 11. He changes shape around you. We're not talking about shape-shifting or anything. No, we mean he makes himself physically bigger and more desirable looking in a couple of little ways. We know men need to breathe too, but you may see him take a deep breath subconsciously right as you walk into his vicinity. He may then pull his stomach inward and puff out his chest, which is an attempt to make his waist look thinner and his upper body look wider. These two qualities make him look a bit more fit and, from an evolutionary perspective, a bit more desirable as well. This all tends to mean that he's probably into you. You or whoever else has walked in with you. 10. Power stance. If you ever see a guy spread himself out, put his hands on his hips, and cock his elbows out to the sides, you better watch out. This stance takes up more space than any normal way a person would stand, and in this case, he's probably using it as a power signal. He's probably trying to show his superiority over other men around, and they say if he does it while leaning in towards you, he's seeking your attention. It makes sense if you've ever seen male animals fight over the attention of a female. 9. He tries out some touching. Chances are, if a guy initiates physical touching with you under the guise of doing it for some other reason, he's probably seeing how much you respond to that touch. This may mean he'll tuck your hair behind your ear or maybe touch your knee, and it may seem innocent, but trust us, he's testing his boundaries. Apparently, if he pulls back slowly after touching you and smiles, there's a pretty good chance he's trying to let you know that he'd like to get to know you a little more than he currently does. Not every touch is a cry for attention from you, but pay attention, because these touches will probably feel much different than those from friends. 8. He angles his body in a certain way. In particular, they say that if a guy angles his pelvis in your direction, he's probably interested in you. The pelvis is an overtly sexual area of the body, and a subtle subconscious signal of his feelings may be where he points it. So if he keeps it pointed away from you, he probably doesn't have anything more than being friends with you in mind. 7. His voice changes with you near. This is more than likely another one of those subconscious tells, but when you're with a guy who you think might like you, listen to his voice. If, when he's talking to you, his voice goes down a few octaves and gets lower, he just may be attracted to you. Our voices typically change when we talk to somebody that we like. For women, a lot of times the voice gets higher, But for men, it's the opposite. It can be hard to tell whether his voice changes or not, so take the time to figure out his normal tone before jumping to conclusions. But if you can tell because you guys spend a lot of time together, take the two factors, the time spending and the voice changing, as a sign that he's probably looking for more than just friendship. 6. Take a look at his feet. This kind of goes hand in hand with the angle of the pelvis being some kind of indicator. The feet too can be indicators of what a guy is thinking, and possibly his intentions with you. Considering our feet are subconsciously tied in with our fight or flight response, they can be extremely telling about what's really on our mind in social situations. It's said that they often point toward where the heart wants to go, so watch them carefully. Try this. Talk with a guy, touch his arm while doing so, and watch his feet for a little while just to see what happens with them. If he likes you, chances are he's going to, without knowing it, point his feet toward you. If he points them away, it could mean that he's not very interested in you, or that he's disinterested at the moment. 5. He fusses at his throat. If you're talking to a guy and he begins to grab at, or even just touch his throat, he might not just have had an itch. In fact, the throat represents vulnerability and communication, so his doing so may show that he's into you. It could also mean that he's worried about coming across well with you, so either way, it's looking like a win for you. But be careful, and read the context clues before making any big assumptions. If you're talking to a guy who thinks he's hot stuff, it could signal that he's being dishonest, so you better feel him out and look for any other body language signs before going any further. 4. He walks right along with you. When someone you're with walks a few feet ahead or behind you, they're sometimes subconsciously sending out signals that they're not interested and trying to lose you. If you were important to that person, they wouldn't walk those few feet away from you. Instead, they'd match your pace and walk right alongside you, so you can talk and bond as you two get wherever you're going. So if he's slowed down to match your pace and is taking his walking easy, he doesn't want to leave you behind and wants to be at your side. He especially might like you if his steps are synced up with yours. So watch how you two walk together. It could be the tell you're looking for. 3. He fidgets a lot with you. When a guy is talking to, or even just around a girl they like, you may notice them fidgeting a lot more than usual. You could see him mess with his hair, touch his face, smooth his shirt, dust his pants, then put his hands in his pockets all before starting all over again. He might also shift a lot in his seat or move back and forth from foot to foot if he's standing. All of this is a sign of him subconsciously working off the nervous energy he feels when he's around you. And nervous energy is a good thing for him to have if you're hoping that he likes you. 2. He holds your hand, palm included. Yes, holding hands may be a sure sign that somebody is into you, but a friend can easily hold a hand, or someone who wants to appear that they want more from you can too. But there's one thing that he can do while holding your hand that could be a signal he's totally into you and wants to be more. If he holds your whole hand and presses his palm firmly against yours, it probably means he wants to get closer to you and is really attracted to you. It may seem like a little thing, but it's a good indicator of his feelings. And if it's paired up with other things on this list, it's looking like you could make this guy your man. Question: did you even know that there were so many body language signs of attraction? We've seen a lot thus far, and we still have one more to go. But first, we have some questions for you. What are some ways you've been able to figure out somebody had a crush on you? Was it obvious? Hard to see? What happened? We'd love to hear all about it down in the comments. 1. He stays off his phone around you. This could seem insignificant to some, but in this day and age, this is probably one of the most reliable indicators that he's really into you. How many people do you see with their noses buried in their phones while you're out and about? Most everyone is addicted to and can't keep their phones out of their hands these days. So if he does while you're with him, he's far too distracted by you to do anything else. Take this as a signal that he probably likes you, because he's fighting his urge to check his mobile device just to give all of his attention to you. Either he likes you, or you're so fascinating that he can't think about anything else while the two of you are together. And let's be honest, both of those scenarios are a win for you. If you enjoyed this video, do us a favor and give it a like. Subscribe to our channel below or by clicking on the logo on this screen so that you never miss out on any of our amazing uploads. And be sure to check out this next great video we picked out just for you.